Good morning, grade 6 girls. Welcome to our virtual learning class. Today, I will start with lesson 2, the skeletal and muscular systems. Let us quickly recall our lesson 1. It was Introduction to All Body Systems. We studied about digestive, respiratory, and excretory, integumentary. We studied about muscular, skeletal, nervous, and male reproductive system, female reproductive systems. So among that, lesson 2 is about skeletal and muscular system. So girls, when I talk about skeletal, you know I'm talking about bones. And when I'm talking about muscular, that means it's muscles. So skeleton and muscles, they have to work together. If only muscles work and there are no bones, you cannot imagine your body without bones. And if you are just having bones and no muscles, it will be just like a stiff toy which is standing and cannot move its body. So skeletal and muscular both have to be together. Now by the end of this lesson, our main objective is that you should be able to explain how the skeletal and muscular systems work together to allow movement of the body. Okay, so now by working together, your muscular and skeletal systems allow you to do many things such as standing up, sitting down, typing a note, or running a race. Many more work. What are the main functions of the skeletal system? The main function of the skeletal system here is skeleton is a system of bones which are alive. Skeletal system is the organ system that supports. You must know S skeletal, S supports, skeletal system. It supports and protects the body and allow it to move. As I told you, it's very important to move. Remember, S skeletal, S supports, and this P protects. Supports and protects the body and allow it to move. What is the meaning of endoskeletal? Endo means enter. It's like inside. Exit is exoskeleton, that is outside the body. So here I'm talking about endo, enter, that is inside. The word enter is coming in, so that is endo and inside, and exo is outside. So skeleton is of course inside the body. Do you see your skeleton outside the body? No, it's inside. Outside is my covering, that skin. Now next. Wait a second, girls. When you hear the word skeleton, you might think of dry white bones. You just think that it's just dry and white bones. But you're wrong. It's not only dry white bones. Then you think that they're lifeless. No, they're full of life. They're alive. They have living cells. Okay, as I told you, please highlight in your book that they are supporting and protecting the body and allow it to move. Now, what are the jobs? Storing minerals and producing red blood cells. It stores minerals. Now, what minerals am I talking about here? Here, I'm talking about calcium. Bones, they store calcium inside them. That's why your mom says, please drink milk daily. It's very important for you, for your bones. You will grow faster, better. And even the small baby, you always see him with milk because he needs to grow very fast. And also red blood cells. And also they're responsible for producing red blood cells. So for protection, bones provide protection to organs. For example, your ribs protects your heart. Further, I will show you the picture of ribs. I think most of you know them. It protects the heart and lungs. Your vertebrae protect your spinal cord. So your backbone is the vertebrae, and inside it has a nerve which is spinal cord connected to your brain, and your brain is protected by skull. So ribs, vertebrae, and skull, these are the three different bones, which are ribs is protecting heart and lungs, vertebrae is protecting your spinal cord, skull is protecting your brain. This is how the protection goes on. The supporting and protection goes on. Not the supporting, the protection. The storage, there are two types, the inner bone and the outer bone. The outer bone is very hard. It's called the compact bone. The inner bone is softer, which is called as marrow. The outer bone, the compact bone, stores minerals. This is calcium, and necessary for nerves and muscles to work properly. Now next girls, the skeletal system stores minerals and produces red blood cells. They store minerals inside, and which mineral? Here it was calcium, and they produces red blood cells. Now as I told you that bones are two, bones have inner body and outer body. The outer body is very hard, made of calcium, that's minerals. The inner body is little soft, shallows. It has holes inside, and that is where the red blood cells are formed, produced. Bones like the rib cage and skull provide protection, as I said you, for the heart and brain, and supports of your body, and bones are support of your body and make. I will show you now in the other picture about ribs. Now here guys. To support, bone provides support for your body and make it possible for you to sit. 1 minute guys. Yes. If you did not have bones, you would be a mass of soft tissue like a slug, okay? Imagine your body without bones, a soft toy. Or a tough toy, slug. However, unlike a slug, you would not be able to move around without your bones. You can never imagine your life without bones. So one by one, listen to it very carefully. I need you all to make those flashcards, the color cards, writing each of the part of the bone, the name on the front side, and at the back, where is it? Actually, like skull is your protecting the brain. Clavicle is your shoulder bone. Ribs, you know about it. It's the outer coverage which protects heart, lungs. Vertebra, the backbone which is protecting the spinal cord. Pelvis, that's the hip bone. Okay, now guys, something very interesting. Your arm is your arm, what you say, that's the bone is humor, and the thigh bone is femur. My teacher taught me mer and mer. H, hand, humor, and F is femur. Girls, this is a very, very interesting topic. You can hold your sister or brother or your mother or father and explain them about it, that this is my skull. Show them your shoulder and say that this is the clavicle. These are my ribs. My arm, this bone is called humerus. I'm sure many of them don't know about it, or maybe they studied and they forgot it. So remind them, this is humor, this is femur, your hip bone is pelvis, vertebrae. Now these two bones in the lower hand is ulna and radius. Remember, you are ulna and radius, and your legs, fibula and tibia. You can remember your Facebook, or FT, FaceTime, like fibula and tibia. You are amazing. U is for ulna, R is for radius. You are amazing again. So starting again, skull, clavicle, humerus, ribs, vertebrae, ulna, radius, pelvis, femur, tibia and fibula, and finally the knee bone, patella. What is this man doing here? He has taken his dog on a walk. Okay guys, other than that, I just wanted to tell you about few important tissues. Our body is made up of many different kind of tissues. Okay, so what tissues you know about? Do you know that bone is composed of connective tissue? It includes blood and fat. Bone also contains of three types of tissues. I told you first thing, bone, please note it down. You have notes at the last of your, please note it down that they are composed of connective tissue. For example, nervous tissue in bones can send pain signals to the brain if a bone is broken. Okay, you know if the bone is broken, how do your brain knows? There has to be some nerves connected to your bone. That's called nervous tissues. Bone also contains smooth muscles because without muscles attached to your bone cannot move. So some smooth muscle tissues, okay, that carry materials into and out of the bone. And of course, epithelial tissue lines the inner walls of the bloods. Now here again, so there are four types of tissue: muscle, nerve, epithelial, and connective. Again, muscle tissue, nerve tissue, epithelial tissue, and connective tissue. Like example, girls, try a simple movement such as bending and strengthening your arm at the elbow. Do it now. Just try to move it at the elbow. Now, four types of tissues are involved in the bending of the arm. The tissue that sends the signal to the muscle, tissue in the arm, that's the nervous, instructing it to contract and relax. As the muscle tissue contracts, it's pull on connective tissue that hold to the bones in the arm. First, a bit it will be confusing for you girls. Remember the names of the tissues. Remember these names and know what does it do. Protect, support. Okay, next. What are the main functions of the skeletal system? I told you. Once again, I'll just read it out. Bones provide a place for muscles to attach. The muscles pull on bones and cause movement. That's why muscular tissue is involved. Bones provide a place for muscles to attach. The muscles pull on bone and cause movement. Marrow, as I told you, the inner bone is a soft tissue, the center of the bones. Red marrow make red and white blood cells inside the inside part of the bones. The hard outer layer of bone called compact bone, it stores minerals. Now, which mineral is it talking about? Calcium. Thank you so much, girls. This is for today. And don't forget you're making up of flashcards so that you remember all those names. Thank you so much, girls.